with John was about oppression. And you said you got quite...
yeah, because I already know what you're going to ask me, and I'm just going to tell you this now. Google. You can
Google.
look up Google.
Google.
But it's not my job to school you on something that you should have learned in school. Women have been oppressed, and women still are oppressed because there are literal child slaves. There are black women, disabled women that experience oppression all the time, and Native American women as well. And
Native American women.
It's also Native American men as well. Aren't they oppressed?
I'm talking about women right now.
You're talking about women?
Yeah, because the question was how women have been oppressed, and I'm just gonna say it's not my job to educate you and school you on that. And if you don't know,
if I reject your presuppositions, then you do need to explain to me.
No, I'm telling you this. I'm telling you, like, it's not my job to school you. Like, you should have learned this in school. And honestly, it's a little scary that you don't know how women have been oppressed in the past. Because, like, this country was, like, built for men. And these, like, laws and rules, like,
Erroneous.
It's all to, like, for men, you know? Like, it was built for men. And, like, this podcast enough is showing me that sexism is still really alive.
Can I ask
you think this podcast is sexist?
I was posted on so many red pill incel accounts. Yes, it's giving incel a lot.
Oh man. Okay, all the buzzwords are coming out. I don't even know where to start tackling this. Okay, so women were oppressed in history, but so were men. It's not
as much as women were.
This is interesting, because if I say, how were women were oppressed? You're like, well, it's self-evident, Brian. I shouldn't have to educate you. Yet you've just asked me the same question. You've just asked, how were men oppressed? Shouldn't you know?
No, because that wasn't taught in school.
So isn't that interesting? Male oppression was never taught in school, but females' oppression was. Isn't that interesting? So who's really oppressed then?
Oh my God, Brian.
If men's grievances throughout history are overlooked, who's the real one that's oppressed? Perhaps you don't even believe men are oppressed.
Don't, to be honest.
You don't?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
There's men.
Can you think of one? Give me one.
So many men literally kill women all the time over domestic violence and domestic abuse, to the point where...
That's irrelevant, but okay.
Okay.
That happens. There's certainly violence, sure.
Yeah, there is a lot of violence against
But
women.
when you think of oppression, what is your definition of oppression?
I don't know really how to explain it, to be honest. But
you use the word, you ought to know how to define it if you just use the word.
Yeah, I just don't know exactly how to, like, why do you want me to explain that? That's what I'm getting.
Well, you've used a word, you ought to be able to...
Yeah, you're just putting me on the spot. You just want to embarrass me. And I'm to tell you this now, it's not going to happen, Brian. Because guess what? I'll fucking dip right now. If
because we're having a polite conversation?
No, because I already know what this is about. We talked about this last podcast, so why do you want to bring it up again?
Well, we didn't really talk about it.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say anything else because it's not my job to school you and educate you, Brian.
Well, that's a very
And I'm not going to say anything else, and I'm going to stay quiet now.
That's a very convenient way to shut down a otherwise polite conversation. I gave you an opportunity to speak, so I think you should. You're just not going to talk? Why is this such a sensitive subject for you?
Because...
Can't